What's up, guys? Nice Jim here. I know it's been a little while. I'm really trying to get back into content on this channel as well, so sorry about that. Anyway, into Regulation C, we have our first major happening this weekend with Regulation C, and it's pretty cool. It just happened. It's April 3rd currently, like today, as of time of recording and dropping this video. And the video, or the regional, just happened over the course of April 1st and 2nd. So it just happened yesterday, or concluded yesterday. It was 535 master players. Happens in Set C, Regulation Set C, which does now allow the use of these ancient legendary Pokemon, things like Chien-Pao, Wo-Chien, Chi-Yu, and the last guy, Ting-Lu. These Pokemon are really good. They all have really solid passive abilities that allow for more or less damage to all surrounding Pokemon, which means you have a very hyper-aggressive format, potentially with things like Chien-Pao, but you also have Pokemon that slow it down, things like the Ting-Lu and stuff like that. So it's a really cool format and a pretty wide open format. Of course, there's a lot of like repeat Pokemon, but there's a lot of different strategies here in the top 8 that we're going to be talking about. We're just going to be looking at top 8 today, so if you want to see more than the top 8, just click on the link that I have in the description down below, and it shows all of day 2 players that made it, so it's all the way up to 47, which is pretty good. You know, a lot of different players and strategies. Also, I think there's like the feature matches down here, or at least the VODs. So if you do want to like check out, players playing this, like the top players playing their teams, definitely do that. I do have a few rental codes as well, so I'm going to put those in the description down below and link to the Twitter that it correlates to, so that you should go follow that player and all that. Anyway, all that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into it and look at some of these teams. We've got in first place Justin Tang here, bringing a Chien-Pao team that also uses Palfin and a surprising Dragapult. Dragapult is actually a really interesting Pokemon on this team because it's not really a Pokemon that I think is like overexplored in this meta. At least we saw a lot of this similar format at the very beginning before Regulation Set A was even announced, or Series 1, whatever you want to call it. We had access to the Ancient Legendaries and the Paradox Pokemon in the proposed beginning format. Obviously, it was most likely that we weren't going to get those, but I still covered content about that and everything like that. And yeah, Dragapult's definitely an underexplored Pokemon in this format. I didn't think it would win the first Regulation Set C regionals for sure, but it's definitely a good Pokemon. Having access to the Chien-Pao to really just like buff this guy up, it's pretty good. Like Choiceband, Dragon Darts, and U-Turn and Terra Blast, like it's good. Phantom Force, like this Pokemon does a lot of damage, and it has Clear Body, so it can't be intimidated, and it has Terra Steel, so it has a pretty good bulky defensive access as well, and Terra Blast to be able to really hit things hard. I don't know the format that well. This is kind of my new re-exploration into the format, so I'm not entirely sure if this Steel Terra Blast hits really hard on certain things. Obviously, it can hit like Chien-Pao, but it's always going to have Focus Sash and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I am pretty surprised to see Dragapult winning, though. That is for sure. I would think like Chien-Pao with probably the Dragonite would have gotten there over the Dragapult, but Dragapult is here, so happy to see it. We also have Amoonguss here, pretty standard stuff, like nothing's too crazy here. Water type, Terra, Citrus Berry, like nothing's too nuts on there. Same with the Chien-Pao, Sucker Punch, Sacred Sword, Ice Spinner, Protect, Focus Sash. It's very, very standard. You also have Terra type Ghost, so it can't be like fake out killed, I guess. Makes sense as well. You're probably not going to be using that much, but it's there, which is good. You also have Arcanine, Safety Goggles, some attacks, physical attacking Pokemon, Extreme Speed, Will-O-Wisp, Intimidate, Flying Terra for some reason. I'm not entirely sure. The Flying Terra, maybe, I don't know. Something's there, probably. Maybe like the Earthquake Dindozo and stuff. I don't know. I'm sure you don't like Terra this that much, but it's pretty good. Arcanine is pretty solid in this format. Intimidate is definitely good with the rise of the Chien-Pao stuff happening again. You have a lot of like Palafins and what else is really sweeping with Chien-Pao? I guess like Dragonite, but Dragonite usually has Inner Focus, so maybe not there as much. There's still a lot of like pressure things like Great Tusk and Baxcalibur here. Like there's still a lot of really strong physical attacking Pokemon in the format. So yeah, Intimidate's definitely solid right now, I would say. We also have Fluttermane doing normal Fluttermane stuff, like very, very normal Fluttermane stuff. You have Dazzling Gleam, Fairy Terra type, Booster Energy, like just a basic Fluttermane. And then also pretty basic. Palafin here at the end here as well. We do have Haze, which is good because there's still a lot of respect on the Dindozo Tatsugiri, even though it's not like the main thing here happening right now. There is one in top 8, although it is on the tail end of top 8, which makes sense. I think everybody's pretty prepared for Dindozo Tatsugiri at this point, but definitely, it's still ridiculously strong. You have to respect it. So having things like a Haze Pokemon on your team is definitely valuable, and having that on the Palafin is a good place to have it, especially since the Palafin's going to come in probably most of your matchups with the Chien-Pao, because it's kind of the main threat on this team. You also have the Dragapult with the Chien-Pao and Fluttermane that can really push for damage. So yeah, pretty well-rounded team though. You have really solid physical and special attacking strength with the Chien-Pao, synergizing really nicely with multiple Pokemon on the team. And you also have Arcanine Extreme Speed that can be a really useful asset with the Chien-Pao as well. So yeah, all around just a really well-balanced team and really strong. And I'm really surprised to see Dragapult, but I'm happy to see it, honestly. I am sad we don't have a rental code for this team. If you guys find that, then link it down below for me. That'd be awesome. I'll be also trying to find it on the Twitter stuff, but as of right now, I looked on his Twitter and he did not have one, so that's unfortunate. Same with Joe UX9, but I'm sure he's gonna post about his soon. Anyway, in second place we have Joe UX9, really strong player as well, with a pretty interesting team. Actually, using none of the Ancient Legendaries here. It's the only team in all of top 8 using 0 of the Ancient Legendary Pokemon, so that's really interesting. We have King Gambit, a Pokemon that he can just not give up. He was one of the early pioneers of the King Gambit tech, bringing a water Terra at the first online tournament or something like that, which is pretty cool. King Gambit's a good Pokemon. I don't know about its positioning right now, but I mean the Terra Blast flying stuff is still really good for sure. We've got an Amoonguss, pretty basic Pokemon here. Talonflame, safety goggles. The Amoonguss is pretty much solved for the whole format. I feel definitely there's gonna be some changes of calcs, but Rage Powder, Spore, Protect, Citrus Berry is really good. Citrus Berry, I'm actually surprised to see is the standard for. I guess we'll see more in this top 5 because 1st through 5th all played them. So we'll see, compare if they're all Citrus Berry. But yeah, a lot of it so far. Talonflame, Gale Wings, Ghost, very standard. Talonflame, Fluttermane, Choice Specs here instead of the Booster Energy because the Booster Energy is found on the Iron Bundle here. And nothing else too crazy here. It does have Thunderbolt instead of Protect because Choice Specs, but that's pretty natural for this Pokemon to have another attack because Choice Specs. And then you have Garchomp down here with Life Orb, Fire-type Terra, Rough Skin, Stopping Tantrum, the Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and Protect. So this is a pretty interesting Garchomp. Opting for the Life Orb instead of Clear Amulet makes some sense. No, it makes a good bit. Honestly, there's only 2 Arcanines here. I think a lot of players aren't really using the Intimidate because of how scary the Clear Amulet is, but I think that makes Arcanine more strong because people are not using the Clear Amulet. But there's also a lot of Pokemon that get through that with the Dragonite Inner Focus and the Clear Body Dragapult. So I don't know. Intimidate's definitely a strong ability and definitely something that's being utilized right now. Also, probably all these Gyarados have them. Probably both these Gyarados have them. So yeah, I don't know fully, but the Garchomp is interesting to see. Definitely didn't fall off fully, but it's not quite the beast it was earlier on in the format. But having Terra type Fire is really good for this because you can't get Will-O-Wisp, which is a big deal. Anyway, that is Joe UX9, so congrats there. In third place, we have Luca, or top 4, we have Luca with another King Gambit here, which is really interesting. Also opting to bring the Ting-Lu, which, is this the lowers special attack? It is, right? Ting-Lu? Yeah, I think it's lowering special attack. So that with Assault Vest is just an absolute beast, to be honest. It's crazy. King Gambit with black glasses is really interesting. Hold on, I'm looking up the Ting-Lu real quick. And I just want to make sure that I'm not wrong. I don't want to be wrong. Lowers the special attack stats of all Pokemon, except itself. So with the Assault Vest, this thing actually does a lot of tanking. Ting-Lu was definitely a rather unexplored Pokemon at the very beginning, and now here solidifying 4 top cut slots out of top 8 of 535 player regional. Pretty good. So yeah, Terra type Grass also, which is really interesting. You have Earthquake, Ruination, Heavy Slam, and Stomping Tantrum. Of course, 4 attacking moves for Assault Vest. I'm pretty sure Ruination is just like a Hyper Fang, right? It just like has the lifespan of a guy. I say it weird. Swords Dance on the King Gambit here, which is pretty cool as well. You know, this guy and the Ting-Lu can really like tank a lot together. I don't know if they're being brought together that frequently, but you also have like the Arcanine with the Intimidate. Howl? What the howl? Right? Get it? Get it? Anyway, yeah, we also have the Palafin doing a lot of damage here as well without the Chien-Pao, but that's quite okay. I mean, when we're lowering the special attack of everything, you know, your physical attack monster is still doing a lot of damage, which is pretty cool. Also, Haze here found once again. And, yeah, that makes it so you don't have to worry about the thing on the Amoonguss, the Clear Smog. So, you know, that's pretty nice. You get to use an actual move there, which is Pollen Puff. So, pretty solid. We are also seeing Rocky Helmet on this Amoonguss, which I really like that, but... yeah, it's usually like it's been a lot of berries so far, and not only like in this format. Like the most staple item I would say for Amoonguss is usually a pinch berry. So yeah, berries make a lot of sense. Anyway, that is Luca's team. It's a really solid team. You also have Booster Energy, pretty standard stuff. Fluttermane, that's the only Pokemon I didn't talk about yet. So yeah, pretty good. Rounding off our top 4, we have Fiona with a really cool team that uses 2 legendary Pokemon, or 2 ancient legendary Pokemon. And it's going to be our Ting-Lu, which is the Assault Vest. Definitely seems like the most used way. We also see Fissure, which is like... Come on. We got a Baxcalibur here as well with the loaded dice tech. I do like the loaded dice Icicle Spear stuff on the Baxcalibur. And there's no... Chien-Pao on this team, but this is definitely taking advantage of other players' Chien-Pao, I would imagine, being able to like just do a lot of damage, especially to, you know, a Dragonite. It would hit a Dragonite pretty hard. I guess, like, you know, it's probably going to Terra normal, but still. Pretty good. Overall, you have Thermal Exchange here. Pretty cool guy. Baxcalibur is nice. It's actually not the only Baxcalibur in top 8. Yeah. No, it is the only one in top 4, but then there's also one in top 8, so pretty good. Another Citrus Berry on the Amoonguss. Other than that, it's very staple. We also see the Booster Energy staple Fluttermane here. We do have Gyarados at Lumberry, which is pretty cool. Intimidate, Steel typing instead of, you know, anything else. It actually looks like it's built very bulky because it has things like Thunder Wave, Taunt, and Helping Hand as its moveset, which is really surprising to me, to be honest. Like, seeing Gyarados used... with a lot of support tech here on it, with Intimidate as well. So that's really interesting. It's like Ting-Lu makes it really like bulky. I don't know. That's really interesting. I'm really curious on this other one. It is the same like 6 Pokemon, so they were probably built, you know, either together or that's like a common tech in this format. I'm not entirely sure. The format's very, very new. I mean, it's April 3rd. I know people have been preparing for like a month or plus for this regional, but yeah, I'm still really surprised to see Gyarados utilized in this way. So that's pretty cool. Also, we got Choice Scarf Chi-Yu here, which is the most standard way to use the Chi-Yu, at least in my recollection of, you know, the pre-format that we played it in. So yeah, really cool stuff. Really solid top 4. A lot of really interesting teams and a lot of really interesting utilizations of Pokemon. Things like the Ting-Lu. I'm really surprised to see so much Ting-Lu, to be honest, but it does make your team really bulky from these like ridiculous Pokemon like Fluttermane and the Chi-Yu, especially since like Fluttermane Chi-Yu is here now. Like that was something that just completely plagued the pre-format format, and yeah, it's still here, you know, and we're using Ting-Lu and stuff like that to kind of mitigate that, and it's really strong. Anyway, in 5th here, in top 8, we have Nathaniel with a similar team layout. Let's see. The Gyarados is what I'm most curious on. It does, actually. It is using the Thunder Wave Taunt. It does have Iron Head as well, which is interesting. I wonder what the main hits here are, because obviously like Chien-Pao and Fluttermane, but a lot of those will both have sashes, and that seems to be like the primary targets of something like that in this format. Iron Head. I don't know. I'm sure it hits a lot of other things really, really effectively as well. Like those can't be the only like Fairy and Ice Pokemon in the format. I mean, Baxcalibur too, but that's just neutral. So I don't know. Anyway, yeah, pretty good overall. Gyarados, Intimidate, pretty cool. Anka Berry Amoonguss is really interesting because it doesn't seem like fire is the main way you're going to be hitting this guy, it seems like it's mostly going to be, well, I guess like Chi-Yu Heat Wave is really annoying to it. So yeah, Akaberry can make some sense. I like that. Although I want to Terra Water, but you're not going to be terraing this guy very frequently, so it makes sense anyway. Assault Vest Ting-Lu with the payback here. Interesting. Also got Flutter Mane with the normal stuff. Protect, Moonblast, and Dazzling Gleam, going for the 2 moves. I like the 2 moves. Moonblast, Dazzling Gleam, I think is really good. We also have the Baxcalibur here at Dragon Fang instead of Loaded Dice, which is all right. Makes Glaive Rush real strong. Cool. Respectable. Poison type. I wonder why. Chi-Yu, Safety Goggles, Chi-Yu. Okay, Nasty Plot. Wanting to go that Nasty Plot route. Could go Focus Sash. I'm surprised to not see the Focus Sash. I'm surprised to see it on Safety Goggles, but okay. I trust. Nick Navarre in 6th place in top 8, continuing our top 8. Our first Dragonite of 3. So, yeah, no Chien-Pao on this team, though. Really interesting to see the Dragonite on a no Chien-Pao team. All right. Choiceband, we got multi-scale here instead of the inner focus, which, wait. Is that really? Oh, all right. We're going multi-scale instead of inner focus. I would definitely think, well, I guess there's not a lot. Well, no, there's 4. There's half of top 8 is Intimidate team, or like a team that has access to an Intimidate Pokemon. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd be probably going inner focus, but I don't know. I guess these players are not. So makes sense. Multi-scale on your Flying Dragon. I mean, I'm sure it comes up for some specific calcs. It might even come up for an Ice Spinner calc, and Chien-Pao's got to be faster than Dragonite, right? Like, I guess I don't know my speed tiers in this format, unfortunately, but I imagine it's faster. So, okay, I guess if that helps you live that move, then sure. That makes a lot of sense then. And then to still be able to, like, Choice Band, Extreme Speed and stuff, it's pretty good. You also have Terra Blast, which is really good for hitting those Amoonguy. I don't want to say Amoongusses. That sounds bad. I don't like that. So Amoonguy, I guess that's right. I don't know. Iron Bundle, Focus Sash, going for the Focus Sash here. Encore is also a really nice tech on this Pokemon. Makes a lot of sense. We have Golden Go, Choice Specs. This is our first Golden Go and the only one in top 8. That I guess it makes sense because there's a lot of that like Chi-Yu, Flutter Mane stuff, which kind of both of those rip apart a Golden Go, especially a Choice Specs Golden Go, because you're not going to get to move first and it's going to die to either one of those Pokemon most likely. I'm sure it's teched out. It also, you have Ting-Lu on the team, which I'm sure can make for exact like damage calcs so that the Golden Go lives. So, okay. I'll give the benefit of the doubt. I'm not saying Golden Go is a bad Pokemon. It's really good. I just think it's, maybe not the best well-positioned Pokemon because of Flutter Mane and Chi-Yu being such a, dominant force in the meta. I guess, obviously, here, though, Chi-Yu, there wasn't a single Chi-Yu. No, there was one Chi-Yu, Flutter Mane in top 4, and then one out of top 4 in top 8. So, okay. Respectable. We also got another Flutter Mane here. And yeah, once again, no offensive ruin Pokemon. We just have the Ting-Lu that can kind of help our Pokemon live. And seeing Stealth Rock here, we're going Lumberry so we can use Stealth Rock. That's interesting, but also Protect is here. So if you want that instead of the Assault Vest, that makes sense. But Stealth Rock, I don't know. I really am not a fan of hazards in VGC. Like, I'm a really avidly against them, actually. But hey, so be it. We also have Icy Wind on the Flutter Mane, which is pretty good because that guy's real fast. I like it. Also, like, I have full faith in Nails as a player, so going for the Stealth Rock, I'm sure it actually works like perfectly for certain calcs, and almost every team will have like a Focus Sash Pokemon, whether it be like one of the weak or one of the frail ancient legendaries, the Chien-Pao or the Chi-Yu, or like Flutter Mane or the Iron Bundle. So there's definitely a lot of Pokemon that are optimally using Focus Sash like very, very frequently on a team. So breaking that is definitely juicy. So we'll give it to that. Thomas McCready in top 8, bringing a Lilligant Torkoal team, which if you don't know, that's one of my favorite Pokemon like combinations. It was my first like competitive team. Pretty cool. I like that stuff. Also, I think it's pretty good in this format, especially since it activates like your Flutter Mane stuff. So you get to use Choice Specs or like Focus Sash, and that's really good. You also have Great Tusk on the team. Both of these Pokemon can utilize the Sunny Day really efficiently. And then the Chien-Pao also buffs the Great Tusk and the Dragonite. Like, this team just has a lot of synergy, although all of it's offensive synergy. Like, this is like a very, very obviously hyper offense team. You have Lilligant Torkoal, which is one of the like more aggressive plays since there's not a single Trick Room on the team. This guy could have it. He doesn't have it. I don't know. That's pretty crazy. I like it though. But like Focus Sash is optimal on the Chien-Pao over the Flutter Mane most times here. So like Choice Specs Flutter Mane, like, all right. That's crazy. I really like this team actually. I really want to find this team as a rental code because I would love to use this team. It's really good. Lilligant with the wide lens, you got the After You got the Sleep Powder, you got the Protect, you got the Leaf Storm. Like that's a very solid, strong Lilligant that will be typically used here. Surprised to see Tailwind here on the Dragonite, but not really. Tailwind's really good. It's just, we haven't seen that yet in the pace here. And then we also have the Great Tusk with the Choice Scarf, which is pretty crazy. This Pokemon's going to be crazy with Choice Scarf, actually, with the Chien-Pao. That's really good. Nobody's used that yet. Or, like, on the top 8. Wait, is that the first Great Tusk? It's the first Great Tusk. What am I even saying? Maybe that'll be standard. I don't know. That's really cool, though. I like that a lot. Also, Earth Power, Eruption. We're using Overheat here instead of the Heat Wave. All right. We want like a single targeting really ridiculous attack and Charcoal, Fire with the Drought. The Overheat's going to be doing Mondo damage, probably even hitting huge damage through like Ting-Lu. So, yeah, it makes sense. That's pretty crazy. Chien-Pao, standard stuff, Sucker Punch, Sacred Sword, Ice Spinner. This Pokemon is just so good. This Pokemon is just so good. Then we have Flutter Mane with the Choice Specs. Cool. I like it. We are going for the Power Gem here instead of the Thunderbolt, which is interesting. Also, yeah, that's interesting. I respect it. Top 8, rounding off our top 8, we have a Glamora here, which is a Pokemon that I still refuse to respect. I'm just kidding. Everybody, it's like it literally slides into a top 8 finish or a top 8 cut every single time. I think it got a second place one time. I don't think it won. Maybe it won a regional, but I don't think so yet. Either way, Glamora does have Assault Vest, though, which is cool, I guess. I don't know. It's an interesting Pokemon. It doesn't seem like a VGC Pokemon. It just doesn't to me still. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. It's weird. Finally seeing Inner Focus Dragonite. Somebody respecting the Intimidates. I respect it. Inner Focus normal. This is how I would probably opt to run a Dragonite at first. But I don't know. With the amount of a Moonguy in the format, maybe the Terra Blast flying is the way. I don't know yet. But Chien-Pao is really effective with it. Focus Sash here makes a lot of sense. We do see Haze on this Chien-Pao, so that's really interesting. I guess like Haze was found on the Palafin every time with the Palafin. So yeah, having a Haze on the Chien-Pao is definitely solid. Honestly, I didn't even know it got that. But Protect is really, really good on Chien-Pao for sure. So I don't know. Haze is good, though. Haze is definitely good. But yeah, we have a Tatsugiri Dendozo, which is something that I'm really excited to see because it's the only one in top 8, and I wanted to see how that kind of adapted in this format. We have Flying with no Terra Blast. Order Up, Substitute, Earthquake, Protect. I guess really you're only hitting a Moonguy like exactly in this format. There's one grass type other than Amoonguss. Like it's just Amoonguss in this format that would really be hitting. I mean, obviously I know Flying hits other than grass, but that is the only really thing. Oh wait, what am I talking about? There's another Dendozo. Nails. What? You are crazy, bro. Why you're bringing a Dendozo? I didn't even talk about that. Wait, did I not even talk about that? I skipped over the Dendozo on Nails team. What is Water Veil? What? Yawn? No, Yawn's good. I'm not saying weird to Yawn. I'm saying weird to see Dendozo alone on a team. Weird. Cool. I mean, to bring it to the top 8 finish, cool. It's weird, though. Not in a bad way. No, I respect it. I feel like I've said I respect it like 4 times, but I really do. Mousehold also is really interesting to see here. Mousehold without the Annihilate. It's pretty solid. You do have access to Super Fang, which can put a lot of things into, right there. Also Feint, which is like incredibly strong on a team with like Dragonite. That guy does so much damage, dude. Being able to like feint something and then like extreme speed is crazy. Wait, does Feint have more priority than Dragonite Extreme Speed? I'm thinking it does, but actually I'm probably wrong. Either way, to be able to like feint and then do something huge damage, like it's solid. You also have Facade here, which is like a really high power normal move as well. So yeah, I like it. I like this team a lot. Being able to, Tatsugiri Dendozo, but you also have Chien-Pao Dragonite. Like this stuff's really good. Glamora. Yeah. Well, that's about it. I guess we'll look over the rest and just like see if there's anything really cool. Oh, Farigiraf. Oh, Wolfie breaking a cool team. That's cool. We also got a Klefki here, another Dendozo Tatsugiri. So there's still definitely a good bit of Dendozo Tatsugiri, but not a lot. Some pretty cool stuff in here, though. Definitely something to explore. Maybe another time, maybe another video, but probably not. Maybe like if you guys want to see the rest of this explored, then tell me in the comments down below. But we're at like 25 minutes. I'm not gonna talk anymore. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys want to see more 9th Gym. Oh, and if you comment anything, comment what you guys are playing in this format, because I'm really curious. I will need some rental codes. I'm gonna play some in this format. So yeah, have a good day. Goodbye.